I'm with Free Transit Ottawa. We're a group that's committed to achieving free, reliable, and accessible transit in the city. And just like affordable housing, transit is a public good. And just like housing, it's criminally underfunded.
What's up, everybody? You're watching Pooped. That is right here. People's opinion on popular topics.
What's your name and what brings you?
I believe personally that public goods shouldn't just be something that everyone can use. They should be something everyone wants to use. They're of such good quality, such high caliber that people are taking the bus. They're living in public housing as a default. There's a saying that a good city doesn't mean the poor people have cars, it means the rich people take the bus. And that's what I want to see of a public good. But that's not the situation we have, because the people at City Hall, they don't understand that a public good is something that lifts you up, that enables you to be who you are, to do the best you can. They think that housing and transit, frankly, are last resort options. That they're transitional things, that everyone basically will only take the bus until they can elevate to the point of being able to buy a car, or they will only rent until they can save up enough to buy a house. Why do we do it that way? Because it doesn't really benefit most people. To own a car costs you 10 grand a year. It pollutes the air, it causes noise, it causes traffic accidents. To expect people to own a home is to expect them to put all of their money, all of their savings, and a lot of debt into an asset that might not be worth a lot in a couple decades. So why don't we provide public housing and public transit for everybody so that it can be used and leave us a lot better off?
Yeah!
Extremely accessible.
Yeah!
And currently, Free Transit Ottawa is working on a campaign of our own. We are asking the city to immediately provide free transit passes to people who are on ODSP and OW because they can afford it. They can afford road widening, they can certainly afford free transit. And so if you want to hear more about that, I'm just over here, but I'll give it to the next speaker. Thank you, everyone.
I was surprised to learn that the Ontario government looks at a 13-year-old bus passenger and thinks to make a profit off them. Do you think that's right?
You're talking about fare.
OC Transport charging children to ride the bus.
Yeah. No, it's a big problem, and people have done the studies on this, and the fee for fare violations is vastly more than for parking violations, and that says a lot about just simply who is seen as worthy of public recognition and public goods and services and a political voice. And so that's a problem, which is why we want free transit for everybody as soon as we can. But to start, people on ODSP who pay the highest percent of their very minimal income on transit should have a free pass. Everyone on low income, eventually moving up to seniors and everybody else. We have given it to kids 12 and under, but we can do a lot more. It's not that expensive. We spend $55 million a year on road widening, which study after study has shown does not make traffic better. We can put the money into transit if we really wanted to, and we can see results for traffic alleviation, for poverty reduction, for better mobility. We can see better results.
Tell us a little bit more about your organization.
Yeah, so we're Free Transit Ottawa. We've been around for 5 or 6 years now. We're focused on free, reliable, and accessible transit because we need all three in the city. If you just make the system free, it's not going to necessarily help the service, and if you just make the service better, it's not going to remove a barrier to access, which fares are. If you are on ODSP, it doesn't matter if the fare is $4 or $2, that's still a lot of money. You're still being priced out of a bus trip. So we want to make it free at the point of use. Pay for it through taxes like everything else. You don't pay a user fee to go to the hospital. You don't pay a user fee to go to the library or to use a road or a sidewalk. So pay for it through taxes. Don't charge people to hop on the bus. And we are unfortunately going in the opposite direction. Fares are still high and service is probably going to be cut again because the line is, well, people aren't using it. Why do you think they aren't using it? It's because the service is bad. And this is what's called a transit death spiral. People aren't riding, so the service gets cut to save money. Less people ride, more cuts, and then you're left Ubering everywhere. So that's really something we want to avoid. We've got cities like Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Brampton, Ontario, of all places. They are seeing recovery rates of close to 100% from pre-COVID. We're still at 60. And what are they doing? They're investing in frequency. They're investing in free fares. They're investing in making the service something people want to use. And that's what we have to do. It's not rocket science. It's just political priorities.
Speaking of political priorities, with the majority of bus customers being low income, why do you think the government is so hard on them?
I think it's because they are able to be neglected. Poor people, even when they are organized, they just are not respected enough by the government. They are not recognized as a political force like, for example, homeowners or drivers are. The people that are perceived to come out and vote more, the people who are perceived to, their opinions matter more. And probably, I mean, it's just, I think if you're brought up in the suburbs, if you're brought up owning a home, that's the kind of people whose perspective you look out for. I can't speak for every councillor. About a third of council does respect those on low income, transit riders, renters, but most of them don't. And it just comes down to who. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you think, well, these people don't vote, they're not politically engaged, so you put nothing in their platform that's worth their time, and so they don't vote for you. And it's self-reinforcing. And so we need to organize ourselves and become a formidable political force, and then we cannot be ignored. And like I said before, we're fighting for something that would be better for everybody. It does not benefit most people to need to spend money on a car that pollutes the air, that fuels climate change, and that causes traffic accidents. Transit, when it is good, saves money. It saves lives through less air pollution, less traffic accidents, and it can save the public money too. A road, when the city builds a road, it depreciates. When somebody owns a car, it depreciates over time. Transit has a much lower effect on the built environment. And so it's just a better investment, and you need less space, you don't need all this parking everywhere, and it saves individuals money too.
Well said. What are your